This chart tracks the purchasing power of $1 over more than a century, measured by what that dollar could actually buy at different points in American history. And by the end of this video, we'll understand why inflation is not a temporary event and why your money is structurally designed to buy less over time. So before we analyze the implication, we need to understand how to read this correctly. On the left side, you see Consumer Price Index. What that means is higher values are stronger purchasing power and lower values weaker purchasing power. Okay? It's not price inflation plotted upward. This is dollar value plotted downward. Step number 2, we have the time axis. Along the bottom is time from 1920 to 2030. I'm going to explain to you in great detail what's going on. Every move to the right represents years passing. Every move downward represents lost purchasing power. The yellow-green line, as you could see, is the real value of $1. Slopes down gently. Inflation is moderate. When it falls sharply, inflation is accelerating. You buy less and less. When it never recovers, that loss is permanent. The most important point, a line never meaningfully goes back up. So from 1913 to 1930, notice what the chart does. This is the year, 1913, this is the year the Federal Reserve Act was passed, creating a central bank with authority over money supply and credit conditions. And there's a tremendous amount of power. At this point, $1 buys an enormous basket of goods. Purchasing power is high. Monetary expansion is still constrained. But from here down forward, something changes. The dollar stops being a neutral unit of measure. It becomes a policy instrument. The early declines are modest, but they established a precedent. Money will now be managed, not anchored. Look at the 40s. World War II was just, not just a military event, it was a monetary event. To fund the war, government spending exploded. The Federal Reserve capped interest rates. Massive bond buying monetized debt. The chart shows a sharp drop in purchasing power. But here's a key nuance. This inflation was politically tolerated because it reduced the real value of wartime debt. Inflation wasn't a mistake, it was a feature. 1971. Talked about that a lot. Point of no return. This is the most important data in the entire chart. This is when the US officially abandoned the gold standard. I mean, literally. It's an incredible story. It's an incredible story because basically what the president at that time, Richard Nixon, what did he do? He said, you know what? Because after Bretton Woods in the 40s, gold was pegged to the dollar. I would like to remind everyone also in the 30s, the government basically went to everyone and said, okay, you have so much time to basically sell us your gold at $20 an ounce. And if you don't do it, it's illegal. So you have to give us your gold and we'll give you money for it. And then once everybody did that, then they repriced the gold upward. Anyway, sidebar story. So essentially what happened with the gold, with the gold and the dollar is that Nixon basically said from now on, we don't have to peg the dollar to gold to 28 ounces, I believe. And people say, you're crazy. It's not going to work. And it did work. And that put the U.S. on a great trajectory from now on because of that. And it also increased a tremendous amount of debt that you could raise as well. So 1971, this is when the U.S. officially abandoned the gold standard. And from this moment forward, the dollar is no longer convertible into anything tangible. Money supply the money supply can literally expand without constraint. Inflation becomes a policy lever. And notice what happens next. The line falls faster and it never stabilizes again. Just a slide. That is when inflation stops being cyclical, it becomes structural. So on the right side of the chart, you see example of what $1 used to buy at different times. This is not nostalgia. This is kind of just evidence, right? You could see in 1930, you could buy 30 Hershey bars, 10 bags of pretzels. In 1971, 17 oranges. To 2025, one pack of discounted gum worms. That's about it. The progression is not linear. This is accelerating. And it answers a critical question. Why does everything feels more expensive even when inflation comes down? Because prices don't reset. Only the rate of erosion changes. And now look at the final illusion, 2020 to the present. Pandemic stimulus, post-2020, emergency program, fiscal dominance caused the steepest decline in purchasing power since the 1980. And here's the illusion. Even if inflation prints fall, even if rates stabilize, even if CPI normalizes, the lost purchasing power does not return. That is why savings feels inadequate. Wages lag permanently. Assets inflate faster than income. The system doesn't require hyperinflation to fail you. It only requires time. So, in closing, the chart is not saying the dollar is about to die tomorrow. It says something far more important. The dollar is designed to lose value slowly enough for you to adapt instead of revolt. Inflation, the countries are revolted because of what happened to their currency. Inflation is not a glitch, it's the operating system. And once you see that, you will stop asking, why will prices come down? And start asking, what holds value when money doesn't? And that's a real question, and citizens must answer.